51%. Now, Mia Love is the mayor of Saratoga Springs, Utah, and a congressional candidate. She joins us. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Welcome to Washington. What brings you to Washington?
Well, I had a Young Guns program. I'm part of the Young Guns team, so I was here to just mingle and get to meet some members.
So you want to be the congresswoman from your state. Why?
Well, we've got some major problems in Washington, and I believe it's up to us. When I mean us, I mean people. It's up to us to fix it. We've got out-of-control spending. We're certainly looking at what we can do when it comes to energy independence and deregulating the businesses that produce so much, and we've got to fix those things.
All right. Well, it's no surprise that the Republican Party has not had a lot of African Americans, especially African American women. If you're elected, you'll be the first African American Republican congressman. I suppose you know that.
That's what I hear.
Let me ask you this: do you get trouble from the community because you're running as a Republican, or have you been the victim of any discrimination?
Oh gosh, not in Utah. You have to understand, I was elected 60% of the votes in the state of Utah, in the city of Saratoga Springs, not because I'm black and female, because I took a city from the brink of bankruptcy and made it financially stable. It's because of my policies and the things that I've been able to put in place to make sure that we're financially stable.
You have a fascinating background. Your parents are from Haiti.
Yes.
Came here with how much money in their pockets?
It's $10 is what my father told me. $10 is what he came here with.
And who's your idol, or who do you look up to in politics?
Well, you know, in politics, gosh, there are a lot of people that have paved the way. You look at Reagan and you think about some of the things that he's been able to do. But really, when I look at people and when I look at the way I've grown up, it's really my parents and my husband and my children that really drive my principles. My family.
What do you think of Governor Romney is now the candidate of your party? At least it looks that way. You got the number last night. What do you think of Governor Romney?
Well, I think he's doing great. It's certainly not a surprise to me that he's gained so much when it comes to women votes. I mean, he's an incredible husband. I mean, he's absolutely in love with his wife. He loves his children, dedicated father, and a successful businessman. It's not a surprise to me.
Was he your first choice?
Yes, he is actually my first choice.
Why?
Well, again,
I mean, not between. I realize you're Republican. I don't mean between Republican and Democrat, but I mean when there was the field, when there were a number of candidates running for the Republican nomination.
Well, I kept my eyes and ears open. I certainly listened to all of the things, all of the ideas that the other candidates have. But again, we're worried about the economy. The 4th District is really concerned about the economy. We're concerned about the amount of spending that we have, and he's really the one that's best equipped to help us through that situation. I mean, he's a successful businessman. He certainly knows his way around that area, and I think that that's what it's going to take.
So what's wrong with President Obama? Why isn't he your candidate? Why are you Republican, not Democrat? Why are you supporting the president?
Oh, well, well, there are many reasons why. I mean, just look at where the country's going right now. We've had a downgrade in the economy. Last month, for every person who found a job, 3 people stopped looking for work. They've just given up. I mean, think about that, Greta. You've got 23 million Americans either unemployed, underemployed, or simply gave up.
Why?
It was supposed to be hope and change, and now it's just you've got fear and blame. You've got fear that you're going to lose everything, and blame Congress for everything, or blame somebody else. It's never one person's problem. Everybody's so concerned about their PR.
Has he done anything that you admire?
Well, I certainly admire him as a person. I believe that he's trying to do the right thing. I think that there are unintended consequences. His policies haven't worked. Obamacare, certainly over 60% of Americans don't like Obamacare. We're talking about now there's this so-called war on women where you're trying to get a church to provide a specific insurance package for women. And we should be talking about whether government should be forcing any private entity to be involved in that. I mean, there's not very much to admire because we're in such terrible condition right now. But I respect the office, and I respect him as a person.
You have a pet project. I mean, a lot of people come to Washington, they have a certain experience. They might have had a sick child, so they decide they want to do it because of health care, or they served in the military, or is there something that's sort of like your burning desires that this is why I want to come to Washington?
Yes. I realize that my daughter, who's 12 years old, by the time she has a family of her own, will owe $900,000 to get us out of this mess, her portion of the debt. We've got children who would never suspect any adult to do them any harm, who have got dreams in the world. They want to be teachers, they want to be doctors, and then we saddle them with this debt. We can no longer kick the can down the road, and I believe as adults, as parents, we are responsible. It's our moral obligation to do something
How are the numbers? How are the polls? Are you polling at all? See how you're doing?
Well, we haven't polled. The last polls came out showed that we were very close. This was before convention. I believe that we're winning. I believe Politicate came out with a poll, had me about 65%, Matheson around 37%. So we're doing really well, and I believe that the message that we have about fiscal discipline, limited government, personal responsibility is resonating throughout the 4th District.
Well, we'll be watching. All these races are fascinating, and of course, yours is particularly fascinating because you're first. It's always fun to see how they do. So, good luck in the race.
Thank you.